All right, hi there. You've got Kieran.
And Aaron.
And we're joining you as Golden Gate Mobility, talking about the theme of the Sausalito Ferry Landside and specifically getting into congestion points today. Aaron, this is our third video now. We've not hit the 5-minute mark, so let's see if we can do it today. So we're going to go fast. So we're talking about congestion points. Why are we talking about congestion points? What are the top 6? That's what we're going to hit on today. Why does this matter? Well, it matters for a pretty important reason. So the $2.4 million that we're getting as a grant, that the city is getting as a grant, is all about improving access, and specifically calls out access for pedestrians and bicycles. So we should ensure that however that money is going to be spent, that we address some of the particular hotspots that we're seeing in the area. So there's 6 that we'll talk about today. The first one is crowding on the pier. So you can see the number 1 here. This area gets really crowded, especially on the weekends. Less of an issue during the week, but sometimes definitely is. Kind of confusion. People don't know where to go. Confusion. It's a crowded area, so that's definitely number 1.
And during commute hours, it's also crowded, but that's not a big deal, right? Because they're there for like 5 or 10 minutes and then they load. So it's actually much more about during the tourist times, I think.
Yeah. Number 2.
Yeah, and so here it's about getting bikes on the ferries for the weekend, and that's, I think, one of the famous sites that most people actually understand and complain about when they think about Sausalito and congestion is the crowds and the amount of people that are waiting, but also that they're waiting maybe for like several ferries, and that's what actually helps cause it, is that they don't know what ferry they're getting on, and not every ferry can actually handle the capacity of people that are actually lined up in the queue.
Yeah, I know. I've come here before. I lived in Sausalito. I distinctly remember showing up at the ferry and being told, you're not going to get your bike on this ferry. You're not going to get it on the next ferry. You might get it on the ferry after that, and you have to just wait in this pen.
Yeah, and imagine us as locals that want to just get down there, and you have to you're counting on using it as a commuter, but yet it's maybe during the middle of the day on a weekend, and you can't get on, and it's there's got to be a better way.
Yeah. Number 3, crowding on the narrow path north of the vending machine. So kind of underneath this number 3, there's a walkway. It's super narrow. I don't know how many feet it is, but it's a really narrow walkway. But a lot of people are heading in that direction. People are also often told to line up there to buy their tickets. So it ends up spilling a lot of pedestrians and bikes into the street there, oftentimes opposing traffic, the vehicle traffic that's navigating through the parking lot, probably distracted, looking for a parking space. So it's definitely both congestion and a safety risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So this is one that's close to my heart, is that the north-south greenway and the 2011 feasibility study for the Gate 6 to Ferry bikeway and walkway has already been designed and has an opportunity to actually come through here and actually lead bicyclists from both sides to the actual ferry landing and the bike parking that could be right there at the ferry landside. And so why aren't we using the funds to design this right now? Because we have the need. And by the way, walking and biking is the sustainable transportation. So we should be encouraging it as much as possible.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, I mean, it's bikes. It's also pedestrians. Like a lot of this top area just below the number 6 sign, like a lot of people are just walking through that because that's the kind of the natural, your eye leads you to walk through that area. And you're walking through a parking lot. That's not right.
Yeah.
Number 5, no protected bike parking. And so I'm thinking, both outdoor parking, but especially indoor facilities or keeping your bike dry. Not everyone wants to bring their bike onto the ferry. If you have an e-bike, you can't bring it onto the ferry. The more uptake we have, the more it's going to be a problem. It's specifically called out in the bicycle master plan. And it's definitely a point of pain.
And e-bikes are absolutely key for commuters because, we live on a hill. And so, getting home, you're going to want, you're coming home in your business clothes or whatever, you're going to want some battery to help. So why not have a good place to park it, make sure it's not going to be stolen, make sure it's not going to be rained on, but actually keep a car from the congestion in the parking lot.
Yeah. And you might hear some people say, like, well, you've got e-bikes, you just ride it all the way into the city. That may not be practical for a variety of reasons, whether it's where you're going.
Yeah, this should be an option. Absolutely, this should be an option. And then finally, the Gabrielson Park. So Jazz and Blues by the Bay is an obvious, like, if anybody has tried to go there and enjoy that scene, it's super crowded. But just in general, anyway, it's just a super small park. And here we have an opportunity, especially if, say, the greenway were to come through, you can really integrate and kind of expand a little bit of this park to embrace this this walking and biking and picnicking scene down there. And so I think this is a really great opportunity that would really complement, I think, some of the spirit of what the grant is all about, which is to make it better for pedestrians and cyclists.
Great. So that's all we've got. That's our 6 for today of congestion topics in the Ferry Landside area. We've talked in the past about some of the parking restrictions, about this project overall. More topics to come. And thanks for listening in. Bye.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you later. Bye-bye.